So let's begin with faith schools. And this question from one of our viewers or listeners, Martin from Cheshire. He thinks they're divisive, that they're not good for social cohesion and thinks they should be scrapped. So should we ban faith schools?
Well, I think that, Mercy, we need to adopt a nuanced view. I think some faith schools do an excellent job in terms of raising education standards. They also do a great deal of interfaith work in terms of trying to develop bonds of social trust and mutual respect between different ethnic and religious groups in a particular local community. But the issue with illegal unregistered schools are that they meet the definition of a private independent school, the legal definition, but they're not registered with the Department for Education. And that is often because they are intentionally operating in a way to be separated from mainstream systems when it comes to the welfare, safety and educational instruction for children. And I think it's really important that the government does clamp down on illegal unregistered schools, which are often unsafe and squalid. The Chief Inspector of Ofsted, Amanda Spielman, recently said that these are not conditions that she would even put a dog in, never mind a human child. So we really need to be aware of the risks involved with illegal unregistered schools. And recent Ofsted figures show that 1 in 5 are places of religious instruction. So we have to be really wary of the kind of narratives which are being peddled within such educational establishments.
Yeah, I was actually going to make that point. 21% are faith schools of these illegal schools. And 2019, 500 suspected illegal schools were found by Schools Watchdog Ofsted. But I just do want to ask you another question, and this is one that's been alluded to by our viewers as well. Liz says, can we talk about illegal schools filling kids' heads with extremism and who knows what? This is how relations fail between different groups. And I just wondered, you know, if a school's deliberately trying to evade Ofsted, trying to evade having to work within the sort of framework of regulated schools, isn't that suspicious? That tells me they want to be teaching kids things that they shouldn't be teaching kids.
Oh, absolutely. As I said, they intentionally operate in a way for them to be separated from the mainstream education system. And much of that will be motivated by the reality that within some of those educational establishments, they want to be teaching material which is not necessarily conducive to aspirations in terms of developing social cohesion in local communities. And I think that Amanda Spielman, the Chief Inspector of Ofsted, she made it very clear that quite often these illegal unregistered settings, they're in segregated communities. Within that 1 in 5 figure, when it comes to legal unregistered settings being places of religious instruction, the majority were Islamic establishments. There were also Jewish and Christian establishments within that 1 in 5 figure. But what was remarkable was that Amanda Spielman said that the figure of, in terms of the number of children being at illegal unregistered settings, it could be in the tens of thousands. And I think that does pose a risk in terms of social cohesion.